Hello guys, so in my previous video I've talked about a few things on money and financial advice and how to be financially free. So I made a few videos talking about a few steps on how to get out of debt and how to save up your money. So in today's video I want to talk about the progress that I have made, the few steps that I have been observing and what has been challenging and what I would advise you to do or how I'm going to progress on forward. So a few months ago, I devised a plan that I talked about in my previous video on how to get out of debt and how to stay out of debt. And here is how things are progressing. So the first thing that I did, of course, was set a budget, and in this budget, I tried to keep everything at the bare minimum so that I could be able to manage with the little finances that I can afford. In my budget, I put a couple of things such as rental expenses, grocery shopping, bills such as electricity bills, water bills, and any other bills such as internet bills and all the others. So all expenses were included here, and the total amount came up to around 13,600 per month. So that's quite a lot, but in this budget there were things that I could squeeze in, and some things were not necessary to be paid on a monthly basis. After getting my budget in order and seeing the few things that I could save up from and few things that I could cut short, the few things that I could avoid, and what I could do to reduce this budget. So after that I moved on to the second step, which was of course getting all my debts in a list from the biggest to the smallest debt, that is creating a debt snowball so that I could be able to tackle all my debts. And the reason why, of course, the debt snowball is important, as I said in my previous video, is because it keeps you motivated as you are able to move forward and in steps covering up your debts. I know it's hard to start caring about your debts or to think of starting to kick out your debts when you are unemployed or jobless, because the income stream is very limited. But once you create a debt snowball, you get a bigger picture of the things that you can handle at this time and the things that you cannot handle. So like in my case, of course, I created a debt snowball starting from the biggest loan, which was the student loan, all the way to the smallest loan, which was my phone bill loans. So these loans were as follows. The student loan totaled up to an amount of 140,000, and I had several bank loans of approximately 3,500. I had some few loans from friends, that is peer-to-peer loans for approximately 15,000, and Fuliza loans and Fliza loans that are mobile loans of 2,500. And the phone bill debt, of course, which is Okwajazi, was approximately 500 Kenya shillings. So after I did this, I created a Excel sheet for my budget and for my loans and for my incomes. So after this, now I was able to get a clear picture of the things that I can handle and the things that I cannot handle. Given that my loans are very high and my income at the moment is very low, basically coming from freelancing and small jobs here and there for people, and some work that I normally do for a friend, which doesn't really give me that much money but keeps me afloat. For the debts, it's important, even after creating an Excel sheet, you can also create a small list on a sticky note and stick it somewhere where you can see it, so that you can be able to keep it on your mind as you progress. So after that, I started tackling these debts one by one, and that started with the phone bills, which I was able to clear, of course, by saving up a few coins here and there daily. And I was able to clear up the debts, the phone bill debt. I've cleared up the M-Pesa loan, of course, that is the Fuliza, and to some degree I have paid off the peer-to-peer loan for some amount, and the bank loan I made sure I cleared that one because that is the highest earning interest one. And from that, now I have been able to clear approximately around 6,000 in debt. I know it's something small, but for me it's something big, because getting out of debt is something that I really want to do. Aside from being able to pay your debts and also being able to set a good budget and being cautious with your money, you also need to get into savings and have a few things in your portfolio. So for this purpose, of course, I always purpose that even if I'm paying my loans and I am also using my money, I also make sure that I put a few coins here and there a savings account. And generally, given the fact that I'm not well off cash wise, there are a few places where I can save my money and this money can be available in case of an emergency. So one of these ways, of course, is using money market funds or using SACCOs, and I chose to go with the money market fund. So for this, normally there isn't much for me to save after paying off these debts and using my money extensively, of course, and given that the income is also very low. So I chose to keep most of my money in money market funds where I can be able to access the money in case I need it. And honestly, even though this is taxing and it's not something that I am used to, it's something that gives me comfort and it's something that I find suits me. When, like for example, when I am broke, I always know that even if I'm broke, I'm just broke cash wise, and somewhere there is, in terms of assets or in terms of some money that is growing me more money, it's somewhere, and I'm not totally broke. With that, it feels good. So that's it for the progress so far. I haven't done that much and I'm still looking for a job, of course, because the best way to make money, of course, is to get a job if you don't have a job already, or if your income stream is not that much dependable. So, and that's it for this video. I hope that you have enjoyed and you have learned something. If you are also on this journey to be financially free and you're making some efforts to see yourself have a better future and saving up or paying off your debts, and you would like me to know, please do consider leaving a comment in the comment section talking about it. I would love to see that. And if you enjoyed this video, of course, do consider subscribing to the channel, leave a thumbs up, and as always, I hope that I'll catch you in the next video, and